Welcome to Nindie Rundown, where we here at Nintendo Village give you the lowdown on which games we've been playing. So without further ado, let's dive right in. I absolutely adore this game. Gris is a fairly straightforward platformer, but the art style is absolutely gorgeous and the soundtrack is simply beautiful. Progressing through the world adds layers of colour to it, opening up new areas as well as reflecting the growing strength of the game's protagonist as she deals with the 5 stages of grief. The platforming isn't particularly challenging, and what puzzle solving there is fairly simplistic, but moving through this 3 to 4 hour adventure is an absolute joy. We've got a full review on site which we'll leave a link for in the description, but this one is highly recommended.
Project Highrise is a simulation strategy game that sees you building vast skyscrapers in which people live and work. There's 2 main modes. The first one sees you taking on multiple missions alongside an already existing high-rise that must be modified and built upon to complete the 3 objectives given. The other mode is much more laid back, which gives you the freedom to create what you want while still throwing out all sorts of challenges that you'd expect from the micromanaging genre. There's huge depth to Project Highrise that made my mind racing on every decision I made. Every aspect of the game is thought out to such a degree that you really have to pay attention to exactly what your individual tenants want, or else they'll leave. There's plenty of hours of enjoyment here, and trying to make everyone in the skyscraper happy while expanding the building into new territories constantly had me booting up for another go.
Legend of Evil is a nice twist on the tower defense genre, the twist being that this is a tower offense game. You have a certain number of areas in which you can build different demon spawning structures to unleash the leagues of evil upon unsuspecting villagers. They do mount a counter-offensive to see you off, but the goal is to slice your way through them and destroy their obelisk before they can get to yours. The variety of demons to spawn and ways to improve your towers, increase spawn rate, defense barricades and so on, add complex levels of strategy. I say complex because who boy is this game tough. You really need to be switched on and thinking clearly if you're going to get past the 3rd level. As a result, it's not really a casual drop in and out kind of title, but it's one worth picking up if you're into these kind of games. The writing's great too. Planet R IX13 is a very simple point and click adventure that sees you crash landing on a mysterious planet and trying to figure out what's behind the strange anomalies that are afflicting your environment. It's all fairly straightforward stuff, and you can breeze through the entire thing in around an hour. A couple of the puzzles took a little brainpower to figure out, which was satisfying, but the incredibly basic presentation and truncated length means it's difficult to recommend. There's better point and click adventures on the Switch, but if you're after a quick fix, there's enough smart puzzle design here to give aficionados of the genre some satisfaction.
Travis Strikes Again No More Heroes is a top-down hack-and-slash game which sees the protagonist from the fan-favourite Wii series dive into numerous video games to battle his way through hordes of enemies. A touch of Suda51's signature flair is interwoven throughout, and the game shines when it's not taking itself too seriously. It's a blast in co-op multiplayer too, with the second player taking control of Badman. Unfortunately, some of the game's more interesting concepts and ideas are lost in uninspired design, overstretched levels and puzzling execution of its story. Be sure to check out our full review on the site by clicking the card in the top right hand corner now. Conduct Together is a hectic action puzzle game where you must conduct the colour-coded trains to their relevant stations without crashing. Conducting trains, switching tracks and avoiding collisions can all be done with 1 to 4 players in this crazy party game. It features seamless switching between 1 and 4 players as you work together to deliver passengers to their stations. A time scoring system and simple controls means that anyone can jump into the action without getting too lost. It's a joy to play with multiple players, but can become frustratingly hard very fast, while playing solo makes it one of those one more try sort of games that could keep you up all night. I enjoyed the look of the low poly worlds, cheerful music and unlockable trains.
That just about wraps it up for this episode of Nindie Rundown. Be sure to stay tuned to Nintendo Village for all your indie coverage, and we shall catch you next time.
Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, check out some of our other videos, and visit thenintendovillage.com, your home for everything Nintendo.